year between the Kings and Jazz, Utah has won 13 consecutive games here. About a minute gone here in the first quarter. Karl Malone, the 13-time All-Star, puts it down. Colonies tries to squeeze it inside, finds Stockton out to Karl Malone, who hit the first basket, nails the second, and Utah's on top. Met by Karl Malone on the perimeter. With the defense in his face, fans on the shot, and Colonies is there to get the rebound.
But still, he has got to attack the rim more than he does.
Game tied at 4. Stockton spoon feeds Karl Malone. How often have we said that? Weber takes it inside. Picked up by Stockton. Kings back on defense, but a feed to Malone, and it was right on the money by John Stockton. What a pass. Malone, who has started 4 of 5. The rest of the team 0 of 2. Stockton, what a play! Chris Webber has it. The All-Star who drives inside across the lane for 2.
Well, think of how many more assists John Stockton would have if he had a center that could finish.
Stojakovic to Webber. That was a pretty good finish by Webber. Finding Stojakovic, weaving inside, knocked away by Ostertag. Diving is Malone. Out of bounds it goes with 15 to shoot, and the Kings will get it.
The Kings are usually, Kevin, very loose.
Great finish.
Williams for 3, his second miss from long distance. Webber now, the mismatch on Ostertag. Starks went flying like a rag doll out of bounds. No call. Stojakovic for 3. Good! Knocks in a 3. 80% shooting for the Jazz. Ostertag outside to Malone, who began the game hitting his first 4 of 5. Out the other end, Webber spinning into Malone with the whistle and a Karl Malone foul.
He'd be a better teacher to him, but he's really improving and been a big factor so far this year.
I say that because I went to Kansas. And outside it goes to Vaughn, a sharpshooter for 2. They decided to keep
Dallas in a sign and trade.
Kings on a nice little run here, on top by 3. Biggest lead tonight, Stojakovic for 3. Good! He's knocked down 2 home runs tonight.
And that's why he's so dangerous, because he draws help.
On the drive, Vladdy. Divac had 8 shots.
Well, that's been my biggest knock on Jason, is he just doesn't compete defensively enough. And tonight he's doing it. He's playing with a lot of energy out there, and that was a big steal.
Field goal drought, John, of 3.5 minutes for Utah.
Well, he's not going to have a drought if Chris stays that far off of it. But I really like the way Chris Webber is going to the basket.
Guard him on the perimeter. He's just spacing him up and going right by him.
Nobody's been able to guard him so far on the perimeter, but he's penetrated. That's one of the things Chris and I talked about.
Malone, I've seen him score so many plays on that. It's incredible.
They're inside again.
Oh, this is ridiculous. You can't let him get that many offensive rebounds.
Getting inside has been key.
Well, he's using his quickness, just going by Ostertag right by there, just going in, laying it in over Osler.
The Kings have not made a substitution. Their starting 5 still out there as Webber grinds inside on Ostertag. And
loves about him. He can put him in. He can take him out. He can put him in the game wherever he needs to put him in the game.
Look at Webber down the lane, wiggling by 1. Rubbing off another and taking it to the rack. Sheehan picks up his first.
See, right here, he goes by Manning. Manning's out on the perimeter. He drives right in, but there's Ostertag guarding at the basket. Lets him go right by. He might as well be 5'2".
Stop picking on Ostertag. The whole team was there to help the man. Indicated he puts a lot of pressure, gives a lot of activity to the Kings team, but he's also starting to hit that shot with a lot of confidence.
As is Malone, who... Williams the other way. Knocked away by Malone. Picked up by Russell. Crotty nowhere to the line.
On a back cut by Crotty. Excellent job, but the defense set up another fast break. Malone still running those lanes, filling in with the dunk. Yeah, they had a foul to give. They only have another 30 seconds. They got another foul to give. He backs it down again. Foul taken out of bounds.
Webber over Marshall inside. Oh, missing inside. Here comes Jackson. 1-on-1 to the trailing Webber. A 3-on-1, and Webber puts it down. And Bobby Jackson congratulates himself for a good-looking pass. And the second foul is tagged on Stockton as Webber comes down with a sledgehammer on a nice pass by Jackson.
Well, I've been in that position where Stockton's in right now. It looks like one of those mascots for the dunk contest.
I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like one of those praying positions.
Game clock and shot clock basically the same. Webber driving inside. trying to chisel his way into Karl Malone, who picks up the foul. Into the third quarter, Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager at the Delta Center. Weber, a
part of the second quarter, they started double teaming Weber, and they
just as Weber's been driving, he's been hitting that medium range jumper.
Stojakovic by Marshall. Weber. Shot clock at 2. On the fly for 2 is Jason Williams.
Hey, some first half just couldn't find it.
Flamboyant passes. As long as he's not turning it over, that's okay.
Divac spinning into the lane and drawing a foul. 1993.
No, they're playing good. They're competing. They've been able to overcome some adversity here and there. There they give up an easy basket. Chris Webber's not happy from the weak side help.
For a third time.
Well, the hardest team to defend and push baseline down here. They're trying to force the baseline, but Malone and Stockton have such a great chemistry. Nobody in basketball has ever run the pick and roll as effective as those two guys. It's amazing what he's been able to do with his body. As you look around the other old guys in the league, like Patrick Ewing and Sam Perkins, and guys like that, Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, this guy is just a specimen.
A lot of trouble. Stojakovic, I'd love to see him get more aggressive, probably with his jump shot, using screens a lot more.
Weber trying to force it inside the Pollard. Look at the collision between Malone and Pollard. Two gritty, tough-as-nails guys. And second foul on Pollard.
And that was great defense by Pollard. Did a good job of stopping the penetration. Karl, very active on defense, but here going for a fumble.
Bumbling, stumbling, rumbling, tumbling.
Great defense by Pollard. Keeps him in front of him. Weber couldn't get around him that time. Did a good job of containment.
Test shots.
Malone and Pollard. Doubled by Christie. Flips it out to Starks over Stojakovic. Sacramento shooting 45%. Utah 46. Weber inside, leaning gracefully for 2. He's got 4.
Well, and looking at this, Chris does a great job of faking that lob, then turns. A great pass goes in. He seals Polynice behind him and goes up.
Ostertag is in for the foul-prone Polynice. Weber across the lane. Ostertag was there, and a foul called on Greg. Second half of the season, the money part of the season, the real season. Malone finds Russell inside.
What a throw, that penetrating pass.
Plenty of time as Weber drives inside on Marshall, and a foul called on Donyell Marshall.
Which is interesting because the Kings really don't have a shot blocker.
Here comes Jackson, wiggling his way free and knocks it down.
I bet his wife learns more from him than him from her.
Karl Malone. It's on the floor. Weber missing there, getting his own miss, driving again, down it goes, and Chris Weber puts the Kings up by 1. 5. Manning going on Weber. Shot clock at 9. The grind, the chisel, the carve, and a foul called on Danny Manning. He's got 4 fouls.
Well, that's that Karl Malone move. They start to fall back and they entangle you with their legs and then appeal to the referee. Karl is great at doing it. Danny needs a little bit more acting classes, I think, on this.
Well, right here they're going to Weber. This is a bad matchup for the Jazz right here. Danny Manning just doesn't have the strength, the physical presence to guard Weber. That's why they keep going down to him on the block.
Sacramento is number 5 in rebounding, plus 18 for Utah. Dancing is Weber. Down it goes as he duels and wins with Malone.
Good.
Utah has 15 turnovers, but 4 have come in this fourth quarter. Count it for Chris Weber. Many think he's the MVP of the NBA, and he's putting on a spectacular show.
Great job of being active. This is Malone playing behind him. I don't believe anybody on this team can guard Chris Weber from behind. He's too strong.
And he ties it at 89. Weber for the lead. Rebound by Donyell Marshall. Weber guarded by Malone. For the lead. Inside. Out of bounds. And down goes Chris Weber.
There's an awful lot of contact on that drive right there. Weber hurt his foot on the play before when he went down and grabbed onto his foot. He may have just re-injured it more.
Weber tonight, 34 points, 8 rebounds.
Must have gone when he came down on someone's foot right there. That's typically what happens. He drives by, a lot of contact right there, no charge. It looks like his leg buckled a little bit. Probably came down on Karl Malone laying on the ground.
Thank you, Craig, and here we go. Manning to Marshall, bobbled the ball. And that's it. And we've got overtime. Tonight shooting for the Kings. TBS playing in foul trouble with just 2 points. Karl lost it inside. The bumping and the grinding inside. It's like a pinball machine. And a whistle.
Because they've been getting a lot of second shot opportunities off of this team.
Stockton the drive into Collard. Tap in try by Malone. Gets another try. Three's a charm. Get it for 2 and a foul.
Well, that's
12.6 seconds remaining. He does not. Marshall starts for the tie. That's it. Sacramento wins. The Sacramento Kings have won for the first time in 14 games in Salt Lake City, Utah.